Scarborough Shoal, a tranquil ring of reefs and lagoons, sits in the heart of the South China Sea. More than just a geographic feature, it's a flashpoint. Its strategic location and rich fishing grounds make it a coveted prize. For centuries, fishermen from the Philippines have relied on these waters. Their livelihoods are intertwined with the shoal's bounty. The shoal is a vibrant underwater ecosystem. Coral reefs teem with life. Fish of all shapes and sizes dart amongst the coral. It's a haven for marine biodiversity. This fragile ecosystem is not just beautiful, it's vital for the health of the entire region's marine environment. Beyond its ecological importance, Scarborough Shoal holds significant strategic value. Its proximity to major shipping lanes makes it a key maritime location. Control of the shoal could give a country a strategic edge in the South China Sea. This makes it a point of contention in a region rife with territorial disputes. The shoal's economic significance cannot be understated. The rich fishing grounds provide sustenance and income for countless people. The potential for oil and gas reserves adds another layer of economic importance. This combination of resources makes Scarborough Shoal a highly desirable and hotly contested piece of maritime territory. In recent years, China has become increasingly assertive in its claims over Scarborough Shoal. Chinese fishing vessels, often accompanied by Coast Guard ships, have become a constant presence. These actions have directly challenged the Philippines' long-standing fishing rights in the area. In 2012, a standoff between Chinese and Philippine vessels marked a turning point. A Philippine warship attempted to arrest Chinese fishermen suspected of illegal fishing. China responded by deploying a flotilla of ships, effectively blockading the shoal. This aggressive move signaled China's resolve to control the area. China's actions at Scarborough Shoal fit into a larger pattern of maritime expansionism in the South China Sea. Beijing's 9-line claim, encompassing a vast swath of the sea, has raised concerns among its neighbors. This claim, lacking a clear legal basis, has been met with resistance from countries like the Philippines and Vietnam. China's growing naval power has given it the muscle to back up its claims. Its expanding fleet of warships, Coast Guard vessels, and maritime militia allows it to project power across the South China Sea. This increasing military presence has created an atmosphere of tension and uncertainty in the region. The 2012 standoff at Scarborough Shoal was a tense and dramatic affair. Philippine and Chinese vessels faced off, their crews on high alert. Water cannons were employed, adding to the sense of confrontation. This clash, though non-violent, highlighted the fragility of peace in the area. The standoff dragged on for weeks, becoming a test of wills between the two nations. Diplomatic efforts to de-escalate the situation proved fruitless. China refused to back down, maintaining its blockade of the shoal. The Philippines, facing a more powerful adversary, was forced to withdraw. The outcome of the standoff was a victory for China. It gained effective control of Scarborough Shoal, denying Filipino fishermen access to their traditional fishing grounds. This success emboldened China, reinforcing its belief that it could assert its claims in the South China Sea with impunity. The standoff had a profound impact on the Philippines. It exposed the country's vulnerability to China's growing maritime power. The loss of access to Scarborough Shoal's fishing grounds dealt a blow to the livelihoods of Filipino fishermen, adding to the economic and political fallout. The Philippines, unwilling to accept China's actions, sought legal recourse. It filed a case against China at the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague. The Philippines argued that China's expansive claims in the South China Sea had no basis in international law. The Philippines' legal challenge garnered international attention. Countries with their own maritime disputes with China, such as Vietnam and Malaysia, closely watched the proceedings. The United States, wary of China's growing influence, expressed support for the Philippines' right to challenge China's actions. In 2016, the court ruled in favor of the Philippines. It invalidated China's 9-line claim, finding that it had no legal basis under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. This landmark ruling was a major setback for China's ambitions in the South China Sea. China, however, refused to recognize the court's decision. It dismissed the ruling as null and void, asserting that it would not abide by it. This defiance underscored China's determination to pursue its maritime claims, regardless of international law or the concerns of its neighbors. Section 5. Environmental impact. While geopolitical tensions grab headlines, the environmental impact of the standoff is often overlooked. Increased activity around the shoal, from fishing to Coast Guard patrols, puts pressure on the delicate ecosystem. This raises concerns about the long-term health of the shoal. Overfishing is a major threat. Chinese fishing vessels operating on an industrial scale have depleted fish stocks within the shoal. This unsustainable practice threatens the livelihoods of Filipino fishermen who rely on traditional fishing methods. Pollution from maritime traffic is another concern. Fuel leaks, sewage discharge, and debris from ships all contribute to the degradation of the marine environment. These pollutants can harm marine life and disrupt the delicate balance of the ecosystem. The physical presence of large vessels also poses a risk. Anchors can damage coral reefs, while the constant movement of ships can stir up sediment, clouding the water and hindering coral growth. These actions can have lasting consequences for the shoal's biodiversity. For the Philippines, Scarborough Shoal is more than just a territorial dispute. It's about the livelihoods of its fishermen and the protection of its sovereign rights. The loss of access to the shoal's fishing grounds has had a devastating impact on coastal communities. The standoff has fueled anti-China sentiment within the Philippines. Public anger over China's actions has put pressure on the Philippine government to take a tougher stance. This has complicated diplomatic efforts to resolve the dispute. The Philippines is caught in a difficult position. It wants to protect its territorial integrity, but lacks the military might to directly confront China. This has forced it to rely on international law and diplomacy to assert its claims. The Philippines sees the Scarborough Shoal dispute as a test case for the rule of law in the South China Sea. It hopes that by upholding international law, it can deter China's assertive behavior and ensure the peaceful resolution of maritime disputes. China's stance on Scarborough Shoal is rooted in its historical claims and its ambition to become the dominant power in the South China Sea. It views the shoal as an integral part of its territory, based on historical maps and fishing activities dating back centuries. China argues that its 9-line claim, though vaguely defined, encompasses Scarborough Shoal. This claim, however, is not recognized by international law and has been rejected by the Permanent Court of Arbitration. China's actions at Scarborough Shoal are driven by a desire to control strategic maritime territory and secure access to valuable resources. The shoal's location near major shipping lanes and its potential for oil and gas reserves make it a desirable asset. China's assertive behavior is also linked to its growing sense of national pride and its ambition to restore its historical greatness. It sees control of the South China Sea as a symbol of its resurgence as a global power. The Scarborough Shoal dispute remains a thorn in the side of Sino-Philippine relations. Finding a peaceful and lasting solution is crucial for regional stability. This will require compromise and a commitment to dialogue from both sides. One potential solution is joint development of the shoal's resources. This could involve shared fishing rights and cooperation in exploring potential oil and gas reserves. Such an arrangement would provide economic benefits to both countries. Another approach is to establish a joint management regime for the shoal. This could involve the creation of a marine protected area, jointly patrolled by both countries. This would help protect the fragile ecosystem and prevent overfishing. Ultimately, a lasting solution requires respect for international law and peaceful dispute resolution mechanisms. Both China and the Philippines should commit to upholding the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea and resolving their differences through dialogue and arbitration. The Scarborough Shoal standoff has implications that extend far beyond the immediate dispute. It has become a focal point for wider concerns about China's assertive behavior in the South China Sea and its implications for regional stability. It has become a focal point for wider concerns about China's assertive behavior in the South China Sea and its implications for regional stability. It has become a focal point for wider concerns about China's assertive behavior in the South China Sea and its implications for regional stability. The dispute has heightened anxieties among China's neighbors. Countries like Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei, which also have maritime disputes with China, are wary of Beijing's willingness to use force to assert its claims. The standoff has also drawn in external powers, such as the United States and Japan. These countries have expressed concerns about freedom of navigation in the South China Sea and the potential for conflict. The Scarborough Shoal dispute serves as a reminder of the fragility of peace and the importance of upholding international law in resolving maritime disputes. It underscores the need for dialogue, cooperation, and a shared commitment to maintaining regional stability.